Most creators struggle to land high-paying clients, and in this case, I'm going to showcase how I basically signed a $5,000 brand deal with a brand for a few videos on a 3-month time span. So you guys can basically go ahead and steal that same format and use it into your own thing. Oh, and if you don't want to basically go ahead and spend so much time chasing after these brands and getting these retainers, then you could basically join my community where we have 40 to 50 brands in there that are willing to pay you at minimum $1,000 on a monthly basis, up to $5,000 on a monthly basis. And we've had students that basically have achieved the $5,000 brand deal, even higher. And this is just the retainer part of the deal. There's commission too, so you got to really pay attention to that. Stick around to the end because I'm basically going to be sharing all the info that's needed for you to basically go ahead and get these brand deals. If you're posting on TikTok already, you already know how many products are going viral on a day-to-day basis, but most creators don't realize how valuable this is. I noticed that one product was basically just making me close to 6 figures in commission. And that's when I realized if I could generate this brand so much money and they're only paying me on a commission basis, what makes me think that I cannot go to their competitor and ask for them to pay me on a retainer basis and also get paid commissions for basically making sure that their videos get blown up and I get incentivized to basically push those videos further and actually put quality effort behind them. So that's exactly what I did. I went onto Twitter and I basically just dialed into their competitors and I basically tried finding their emails. I went to their Twitter account, I went to their Instagram account, and I was just dialing. I was sending outreach message after outreach message. My outreach strategy was plain simple. I was basically just displaying value up front. So the first message, I was basically just sending, I've done X millions of views or X billions of views, however much views you've generated. Then you would basically go ahead and be like, I would be interested in creating content for your brand. And then what you would basically go ahead and say is, would you want to see the pages that I've ran for competitors? You know, if you're targeting competitors and if you already have some type of traction, or even if you don't have any traction or you haven't created content at all, you could just be like, would you want to see the examples that I've done for other brands? And then from there, you could basically go ahead and chat it up with them and basically just tell them that this video for their competitor generated hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of dollars. And then from there, you could basically be like, I'd rather work with you and actually have more of a partnership and have more of like a grit. And in this case, most brands were basically not messaging me back because I was a quote unquote nobody, right? So in this case, what I did was I had a bunch of follow-ups that I got from ChatGPT, and it was just stuff like, yo, did you get abducted by the aliens? It was just like funny little witty follow-up messages that I've sent for like months upon months for some of these people in my inbox. So in this case, it's basically just not giving up and just keeping going after. I have a few people that I've been following up with for at least 2 to 3 years now. And it's crazy. And some of them aren't messaging me, but it's just volume. The outreach and like getting your first few deals are going to be just volume. So you basically got to go ahead and put insane amount of volume behind your outreaches and also your follow-ups. Looking back, there's a lot more easier ways that you could go about this. For example, you could basically go ahead and provide value up front. So providing value up front looks something like this. You would basically go ahead and purchase their product and then basically create content for that product and then go ahead and showcase the like edited version of that video that you created. Out of the law of reciprocity, you would basically go ahead and see these brand owners basically being inclined to basically respond back to you or give you something back because you sent them value up front. And in this case, you could sign like even bigger retainer deals if you do a good video and you actually have quality behind your videos. Then that brand owner is going to be like, oh shit, we need this guy. He knows what he's talking about. Or you could just give him a guideline or like a roadmap of like what you would do for their brand if you came into their business. So in this case, you got to basically provide value up front instead of chalking up messages and sending outreach messages, because that's not going to work anymore. It's 2025. Like, be serious. That used to work for me in like 2022, 2021. It doesn't work anymore. Providing value up front is what works, and we'll go more in depth into that in my community as well. So pay attention to the end of the video. But here's the thing, you don't want to really go ahead and outwork yourself and spend your whole entire day sending messages, like outreach messages, to just land brand deals. In this case, we have around 35,000 e-commerce email list that's in a Google spreadsheet that you could basically go ahead and just send an email to these people. And you could have it on an automation, which we go more in depth into in my community. On top of that, I'm basically giving you everything you need to basically go ahead and land these clients, from the exact outreach strategy that I've used in the past and how I provide value upfront, and how these outreach methods and scripts and value upfront methods, I myself made $200,000 in 2 to 3 years time span. And I'll definitely I'll pop up an analytics or dashboard type thing here, so you can basically go ahead and see that I'm not actually capping. And it's a screen recording, by the way, so you guys can basically make sure that it's not fake, it's on my phone, etc. So I'll basically give you A to Z system where we basically show you how to land brand deals. And we do 2 weekly group calls every single week. And this is where you can basically get direct information from me, where I could give you info that not many others can, because they don't have as much experience as me and they haven't done it for a long time period. So in this case, I'm going to basically give you all the feedback that you need from your account, the videos that you're posting, what you need to do better when it comes to your content, giving you hook templates, giving you strategies to basically work on, making sure that your video view duration is long enough and it's good enough for people to basically consume, making sure your video is consumable, how you can improve, basically just giving you an overall summarization of like what needs to be improved in your content. And we also have bi-weekly one-on-one calls with me and my team to basically go over your strategy and basically give you feedback one-on-one, or any type of other question that you have or any info that you've been struggling with. We basically go ahead and go in a deep dive one-on-one together. So, and we also have 3 dedicated coaches that will basically go ahead and help you get to the level that you need to basically be at, so you can generate these brands a lot more money and put more money in your pockets from the commissions and also the retainers. Because once you generate one brand a bunch of money, these brand owners are friends, and they're basically going to tell their other friends that you have generated them insane amounts of money. And then it's just going to be another cycle of basically getting more clients, more money, get more commission. So you basically gotta be in tune, get help from our coaches, get help from me, get help from the team, and basically strive for greatness. And another thing is direct brand deal opportunities. So you'll basically have direct communication with me and my team and the brand owner to basically go ahead and close a deal. And in this case, the amount each creator is getting paid from each brand deal is basically minimum $1,000 on a monthly basis to upwards of $7,000 to $5,000. So it's basically really good for you guys to basically go ahead and take advantage of some of these opportunities, because if you generate one of these brands $10,000 on TikTok Shop, right? Then they're gonna be like, okay. And then on the second month, let's say you generate $70,000 for this brand, they're going to raise your retainer by a lot more. So you got to basically strive for that. And that's where we come in place. We basically come and help you to basically strive for greatness. So these brands keep coming to us, so you get more opportunities. It's just a cycle of win-win. So in this case, we basically offer a full training with about 5 hours of content that basically goes in depth into pain points, how you can basically go ahead and make your videos better. Like for example, if your hook is really bad, maybe using a visual hook or maybe using an audio hook, just basically making sure that you get the attention and then basically being able to retain the attention that you get. So in this case, we basically go into a step-by-step module where you basically learn how to sign high-paying clients and high-paying brand deals. And you also get live recordings of me in sales calls, so you can basically go ahead and ask the same questions, get the same framework, maybe ask similar questions, and basically just get a routine going so you can basically flow flawlessly without making having speech impediments while on the call with your client, or just not being experienced enough to basically go ahead and work with these brands because they just noticed that you're not a par. So we'll basically give you all that info so you can basically go ahead and dial in that, so you can basically be a lot more flawless in your conversations with the brand owners. And we also have proven outreach templates, contracts, scripts, so you don't really have to do the guessing game. We're really confident in this offer that we currently have right now, which is a money back guarantee. So if we don't generate you $2,000 in a 60-day period, then we'll basically go ahead and refund the invested amount that you paid up front, and I'll also give you extra money on top. We'll also have a contract in place, so in this case it's a win-win deal for you to basically go ahead and generate the most amount of money that you can. And we have 50 brands that are currently looking for creators to basically pay a minimum of $1,000 to $7,000 on the high end. So, and this is on a monthly basis. You should probably take advantage of this deal because we are looking to raise the prices soon. So check out the link in my description because I included my Instagram and my Twitter link. So basically go ahead and send me a direct message with the word brand deals, and I'll basically get to you and get you paid and get these brand deals skyrocketing through the roof. So let's get it. Peace.